Welcome back, travellers, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Alice tries to reach out to a friend, Rhal apologises to Caden as Zaltanna returns to her mother tongue. Finding a somewhat changed Caden, the trio deal with the fallout from Cremana and make their way down to the cavern in the Earthdark, where they meet up with a friendly face. How will Alias react to a much older father? What evidence was lost with Rhal's house being destroyed? And will Balance and Bougrim ever bury the hatchet? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
So Balance,
Hi.
What are you up to? You are standing there with the somewhat aged Caden, looking worse for wear. I'm going to say it's fairly obvious where these guys have gone to, so you know their location, because there's a giant wolf sitting outside.
I feel like seeing Rhal and Zaltanna and Bougrim go walking off, I imagine Balance would turn to Caden and just, we should probably stick nearby to them. I'd rather stay out of the conversation, though.
That seems fair. Is there a problem between you guys?
Well,
and you guys are walking your way there.
Yeah.
Caden actually looks very unsteady. He's trying to hold himself best he can, but he's clearly aged. He's clearly feeling the effects of whatever breaking the bond has done to him.
Balance is gonna put her arm around him and walk with him. From my last encounter with Bougrim, he's not a fan that I was. And then Balance kind of just makes a sweeping gesture towards his armor.
He nods. He doesn't need you to say it. He nods.
So he seemed rather distrustful of me, despite my forthcomings with my attempts to aid Rhal and everything that's been going on.
I guess from his point of view, you're just
one of them.
Yes, exactly. I can tell you a lot of people would be very uncomfortable with what you were, at least. But it's a good thing that you are utterly covered in, well, and again, he gestures to you. You're probably covered in a lot of gore and blood and brains of a dead and dying god.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm probably going to need to get some sort of a cloak, perhaps, or something just to cover up.
I would suggest a complete change.
That requires a lot of money that I don't have. Studded leather armor is not that cheap.
That is true. We don't even have the entrance fee.
I've got 5 gold to my name, Caden. And let me tell you, that is a very stark contrast to what it was even a few weeks ago.
That is very, very true. I don't have a lot. I can probably help with most of a fee, but it's not like we need 3 now. And he raises one hand in front of him slightly. You can see his skin is old and covered in liver spots and shaking profusely. Not like I can help it now.
Well, I've been instructed that I'm to remain on the sidelines for this, so it would seem you and I that are going to be just observing. Although I would like to try to see if I could speak reason with Kesa. See if perhaps this could all just be avoided.
Take a perception check for me.
Sure.
It's not massively difficult, but
16.
it's reasonable. You see that's Jesse. You see that they are up in the balcony now. And you can see that the old wizard guy is also up there with his assistant, like hovering and fluttering around him. You can see that there is also I need to make sure I check this one correctly.
A robot.
A robot. There's a robot up there. No, there is not a robot up there. You can see that there is a gnome up there. They seem to be holding from their attire, you would guess that they are probably some sort of paladin of some sort. They're holding a very big hefty, for a gnome, a very big hefty warhammer type arrangement. They are wearing very shiny armor. They look not young, but old enough to know what they're doing and not too young that they seem to be naive in their ways. They're clearly a master. The way they carry themselves, their carriage is superior. And the three of them are sitting up there in three of the chairs / thrones. The only one that is empty is the large wooden one. This is what you see.
In fact, Caden, I'm getting an idea. While they're doing their thing with Bougrim, what if we take a quick breather and then perhaps I can see if I can arrange for that chat to be sooner than later?
It would probably help. Where do you wish to start? How can I help?
I need a good half an hour at least. I need to rest.
I think we could all do with a rest.
Why don't we go sit relatively close to Bougrim's tent, then relax for a little bit, and then we'll go speak with some of the people that seem to be in charge here.
That seems like a good idea. And the pair of you make your way over to where Karuna is. Karuna's got her head on her paws, and she just looks up at you with big doe eyes and closes them back down again and just relaxes. She doesn't seem to think you're a threat. Whether you want to take that as an insult or not, entirely up to you.
No. Karuna, would you mind if we just rest against you for a little bit? I could use some comfort.
Karuna gets up. She gives your hand like a really good lick. She gives Caden a bit of a growl, and then just circles around you and then sits back down.
Take that as a confirmation. So Balance is going to sit down cross-legged and kind of lean back against Karuna.
Okay. You're close enough to hear your two companions begin to weave their tale. They begin to tell the tale of them arriving in Vanlas. This is when you roughly turn up, I'm going to say, just to fair sake.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm taking a short rest if that's possible.
Absolutely, it is possible. I'm going to say for whatever sake, you guys can all count as having taken a short rest. If that refreshes something, huzzah. If it doesn't refresh something, I'm sorry.
What about the case of the halved everything?
Okay. Now we're on to the mechanics of you guys lost a third of everything.
That was it.
Yep. That stays until you perform a Constitution saving throw at the end of a long rest.
Got it.
Okay, well, I'm going to roll a hit dice to get my... Oh, wait.
Yeah, you can roll hit dice. Hit dice are fine.
I think I was below that point when we entered, so I don't think I marked it.
Yeah, my max HP got dropped by 20, so that puts my max at 25. I'm at 18.
Your max is 25?
No, my maximum HP currently with the reduction.
Oh, it's 25.
I don't believe you guys took much in the way of damage during the crossover,
I think I'm the only one that got hit.
Yeah.
I took some damage, and never mind, now I'm back at full.
You also took 5 necrotic damage from the spectre appearing, didn't you?
That was part of it.
You fell on your ass.
Yes, because it was 15 for the third, and then an additional 5 for that. That's why I'm negative 20.
Yeah, again, that 5 you can't recuperate unless you've had a long rest.
Got it.
I don't know. I think that I just need a long rest. All my spell slots are gone.
Yep. You'll need to take a long rest to get your shit back. It's afternoon. You could take a long rest if you want. Telling Bougrim your tale could probably take well over how many hours it been since you last saw him in a podcasting world?
It's been a very long time. Yeah.
Exactly. It could take a very long time, especially if you aren't leaving anything out.
Everything from Van Last to Chatbok to going to the Lost City to coming back to Chatbok to teleporting and then traveling. And he summarizes everything. Mostly the things that annoyed him, which is everything.
Which was everything. Okay. Wonderful. You guys talking about all your various shenanigans. Some places, he does exactly what I guess an audience member would do at this point, like gasping and laughing and looking sad and I can't believe this. There's a whole range of emotions playing across his face. Some things you say spark him you don't think they would normally, but there's a lot of things that he knows that you don't, especially in relation to the fourfold, that kind of stuff. He has a whole range of reactions. And when you finish your tale after however many hours, let's say 2.
I'm not going to be there.
2 hours.
But I've also told him that Amos and Bellum.
That's okay. We'll pick up from that conversation, shall we?
Okay. Yeah, that was fairly recently. So yeah.
Yeah, you learn a bunch of stuff. You go through the portal, and then basically, this is okay. This is a good way to go. It's like, so you said you found out where Emma was?
She's in Bellum, the specter that is following me around. Helped us quite a bit. I've talked to him a few times. He says that's where she is.
Still can't wrap my head around that. But she's in Bellum, the place where people go when they want to fight the rest of their existences.
It seems like that's what they do. I don't know anything about it, Bougrim.
Seems like the right place for her.
Fighting?
She's always a fighter. Just not the way you and I fight.
I mean, yes. Well, like I said, I don't know how any of these things work. As long as I know where she is, I can try to get it fixed. I'll try to fix it.
You're gonna try and fix death?
Yes.
That's... How do I put this, my friend? That is insane.
Well, what have I got to lose?
I'd do the same for her. Her ashes.
Rhal gets like a serious look on his face.
They're back at my place. Back in Heart's Hearth. I didn't know how far someone was going to go when you got locked away, so I just took them back to where I live.
Rhal just gives him a nod. He clearly can't talk about that without it getting out of hand for him, so he's just gonna not feed into that conversation. Just nod and smile a little bit.
So, yeah, after her hammer, you think that's one of these items?
Apparently. I have to get in here and win this fight, but we don't have the money. I have 50 gold. I think that's all we have.
And what about you? He looks over at Zaltanna. Are you going to be... I mean, you look pretty handy with your weapon there.
Oh, I'm real handy with the weapon. I can definitely fight a bunch of people, but I also only have about 6 gold right now on my person. I'm flat broke.
She'd probably do as good or better than me in the fight, but you do also
You're kidding.
have...
I think she'd do better than me too.
I do better than most people.
You do
That's
also
the
have...
good thing about being raised literally specifically to fight people.
You are also living for 2 now. There's something to consider.
Why you gotta say it like I'm pregnant?
Because it's funny.
He's right there. You're literally carrying the essence of something that just seems to be screaming all the time. That sounds like a wee band to me.
Pretty much.
I don't... God damn it, Balance. Balance made me pregnant.
Well, that's just when I was coming round to the guy. He gets you up the door and then he doesn't even come with you. What a bastard. Bougrim is clearly laughing, by the way. I'm not.
Oh, shit.
Look,
God, your lucky balance isn't there. I would have been giving people fucking headaches.
he's already got one.
Mind thrust everywhere.
That's how we got into this situation.
From a lot of thrusting. Yep.
But a lot of mind thrusting. It's a mental baby. But
Brain baby. Yep.
I told her that she should not enter because only one of us should risk it. Because if we can't get the hammer, we're going to have to figure out a way to get it afterwards. And we need to take as little risk as possible. But
that's
now you might need to consider that for another reason, Zaltanna.
oh my god. Look. I want to do the
Look.
fighting.
I know you do. I'm
That's-
okay with you fighting.
The entire reason that we have a balance and a Caden is so that you and I can go in there and do the fighting and they can do the brain thinking things.
Right.
Hey, and now there's 3 of us. Now I know it. I mean, you and I are both going to be in Marshall together, so that, I mean, there's only limited spots, and I can, well, the fate of the world, I'm pretty sure my savings can take that hit. It's better than having no savings because the world's gone.
Well, if I'm not dead, I'll pay you back. So
I'm pretty sure someone can lay a bet in case it doesn't. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
I'll put all 6 gold on you.
Look, you and I can probably have a go at this Marshall thing, okay? And I assume you'd have to go mixed, right? You're magic too.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Okay, so the only thing we can't enter is straight magic. So, okay. That gives us 3 chances. I mean, the spots are limited. If we can take 3 of those spots, that's 3 chances you didn't have before, right? I mean,
yeah, but that's also 450 gold.
I can spot it. He looks really awkward when he says it, though.
Are you sure?
can I insight? Do I know
yes.
Bougrim's money situation? What
You
it
can
was
insight.
before prison, anyways?
Now he
20.
went to prison, he's suddenly loaded.
Non-natural 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
You know he's not that well off, but you know he knows people who could get him money. These
Loan
people would, yes, correctly stated, they would be loan sharks. Most likely on the offhand from the double ones, just to throw that out there. He knows people. I can get it, don't worry.
I'll pay you back. You know that I'm good for it.
I know.
But I have to focus on surviving 500,000 things now that I didn't have to worry about before. I'm not used to this much stress after long periods of time.
Looks like you could use a fucking break.
I could use a retirement.
And you too, Zaltanna. You look like you could sleep for an age. I mean,
Oh my
you're
God.
sleeping for 2 now.
Stop acting like I'm pregnant. Oh my god.
He's just got this
This-
big grin on his
This
face.
thing in my head is definitely is not a baby. It doesn't Okay, yeah, okay. Fetuses don't sleep either. Oh my god, I'm brain pregnant. I'm brain pregnant with fucking Balance's
got-
ex-best friend that he killed. And I am never gonna get a moment's sleep again. It's just like having a baby. This is exactly me and Odette were talking about having kids, and this is one of my arguments originally why we shouldn't have them, because it's a whole thing. She gets like real quiet for a second.
Well, maybe you'll be used to it by the time you find her, and then we can work on that.
Okay. Have you considered how you're going to get her out of your brain?
No, that just happened. We don't know a thing about anything of that.
The question is, do I say the really bad joke Casey's thinking, or do I just not say things?
I want to hear it now. There's been enough time between A and B. Neil can cut it out.
Through the birth canal.
Oh, gross. Okay. All right, I'll go get you guys signed up. Look, it's going to be a couple of hours before anything happens here, so how about you two rest up and get some sleep and
Oh my god, please.
tell your friend Balance he can stay here too if he needs to. Otherwise, you got to pay for another place. You see him like roll his eyes dramatically and leave.
Thank
And
you,
he trips
Bougrim.
over Karina.
Nah.
Has Balance gone at this point?
After the first half hour, once the short rest is done, yeah, he would have been like him and Caden would have been gone.
All right. Hour later, you guys are off. Where are you guys headed?
To where Jesse and Festus and the gnome were sitting.
Gnome.
The gnome.
The gnome. Okay.
Yeah, the gnome.
Gnome. You guys are making your way towards the other side of this cavern. As I said, it's pretty huge, and it does take you guys a fair while to get over there. You arrive at the bottom of where this balcony is. The balcony is like a good 3 balances high. I don't know how tall that is. Yeah, good 3 balances high. If you shout, you could probably be heard, but they are definitely up there. Now you're down here, you can't see any obvious way of going in from just a casual glance.
All right, Balance will call up. Pardon me, Jesse, Festus. Would it be possible for me to speak with you for a moment?
Huh. I need to roll them a perception check. It's not quiet in this place.
No, go away. We're busy.
Get here.
We're on lunch break. Come back in 30 minutes.
One of them is really old and can't hear you, but the other one, however, you see Jesse pop their head over and they look down at you. You were the guy with Shadow Strike, right?
That is correct.
What can I do for you? Is it quick? Do I need to come down or what?
That's up to you personally. I wished to speak with Kesa. It's a matter of important business.
You see them pause a minute and then look back over their shoulder. You hear them saying, you don't really hear them. You notice them muttering something, like talking very quietly to people around them.
Right.
And they turn their head back and look down at you and go, I'm gonna need a bit more than I need to talk to her. Gonna need a solid reason.
Then it would be best we speak in private. If with your permission, I can speak to you privately from here.
Using that fancy magic? Nah, not a chance. Come on up.
Fair enough.
And you see him you see them pull their head back. And just a few moments later, you see the drow that was helping out the old wizard guy appear. And says, it would be good if you came this way. They're expecting you.
Very well.
Try not to overexcite my master. He's oh boy, what a day.
I will try and make your job easier.
Takes you up the steps. When you get up there, the balcony itself, the area is quite large. There are lights floating much in the manner that you would find a Beleg-Bood, but much smaller, just floating around, casting some ambience. You can see that there is a door in the far wall, which is currently closed, and there is a pair of dwarves standing in front of that. They seem to be wearing plate armor, and you can see that the gnome, Festus, and Jesse are sort of looking in your direction, waiting for you. Jesse gets up and leans on their cane and begins to hobble over to stand in front of you. So?
I trust all of you here are... Well, what I say will not be spread through any means. What was said in this room will remain within this room.
You feel as if you're being scanned by everyone in this room, as if they are just looking very intently at you, weighing every single word you say. Jesse leans forward a little on their cane, and they say, well, that entirely depends. So far as we know, you arrived in timing with some fire falling from the sky, and now you expect to speak to a ladyship.
Then let me be as honest as possible, because I find honesty to be a rather difficult thing to come by these days, and perhaps you'll trust me then.
We have a way of securing that. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I opt to fail it?
You can.
Do I have an inclination of what this is?
Yes, you know this to be a zone of truth.
I'll fail it.
Okay.
Balance just smiles.
The gnome looks up at you and smiles, nods appreciatively, and you see the other two relax slightly. They can tell signals between them. So, who are you?
How did I know that was coming?
Fuck, you got me. The one thing.
In this case, honestly, I think it's better off.
Don't forget
I don't have to tell
the truth, but you don't have to. As long as what you say isn't a lie, you can dance around issues. That's the helper I will give you.
I know. The name I go by is Balance. I am part of a group who is charged with stopping the apocalypse by any means necessary, and we do have a means.
Which will be what?
There is an ancient hero who is supposedly able to stop this apocalypse from, destroying everything we know. We are attempting to resurrect this ancient warrior. We know how, we have the means, but there are certain items we need to collect in order to do so. Kesa has one of the items, and I wish to speak with her in a hopes that she will see reason and aid us, as I am sure the apocalypse has not been very good for business for anyone.
You see the three of them exchange glances. They don't say anything for a good 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds. And then Jesse turns to look back at you and they say, "It's good you believe you have an option. But you have to understand it's a bit... Her ladyship will be very intrigued to meet you. Let's put it like that. But she's not going to be here until the final fight tomorrow."
Is there some way to get in contact with her prior? This is a time-sensitive issue.
The three of them laugh, and Phaestos says, "Well, if we were able to contact her, then we would be able to contact her, but she's just one of those beings that just come and go."
Got it. Speaking frankly, what are your thoughts on the matter then?
Jesse goes to sit down. They sit on the edge of the balcony and they offer you to go sit down, and Caden very thankfully goes to sit down, old bones and all.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and they say, "We understand Kesa has been prepping the fourfold for a very long time now. We three have suspected it's probably something to do with this apocalypse that's happening now. So what you're saying isn't too far-fetched, but it's still far-fetched. You understand that, right? Put together some items and you'll bring back from the dead some old hero."
Well, there is more to it than that. We do have an army. We do have the aid of the Witches Society. We have the aid of the Lodge.
As soon as you say Witches Society, Phaestos is like, "That girl, she's not reliable."
No, but she is useful.
No, she is. Do you know much about this young lady?
Not nearly as much as I wish I could. There are things I am suspicious of, but all the same, I would prefer to keep those musings to myself.
Well, some of us old school bard left. Myself, a couple of the other old wizards, some of the wizards down in the human place, dusk or whatever it's called. Dawn, whatever these days. Too old to care. A lot of us left when she came into power. Same when her brother did. I wouldn't trust either one of those as far as I could throw them.
I trust that they're doing the right thing for the world, at least in this case.
Well, we should hope so. Just be wary. If your plans hinge on them, be wary. Her magic's very volatile.
Oh, don't I know that?
We will try and get you an audience with Kaisa. We can't promise anything.
It's appreciated. Really.
Especially
I mean that.
since you believe this hammer of hers might be something to do with your hero. It's supposed to be the prize.
So we've been told.
All right.
On the subject before I depart, I don't mean to take too much of your time, but I had a thought and I'm curious. Phaestos, have you heard the name Daichin before?
Oh, yes.
You have?
Of course. They were mostly known to be the next leader of the Witches' Society until the girl turned up, and I don't know, I think he must have disgraced himself or something, but he decided to step aside. Left when a bunch of us did.
Have you heard from him or heard of his whereabouts recently?
Oh, recently. What's this to do with?
I believe he has another piece. In fact, I'm almost certain of it.
Well, count my lord and stars. Let me have a think. And he sits there completely rigid, just for like a solid 30 seconds, and he looks back at you and says, well, the last I heard, and don't get me wrong, this was a good, I don't know, could be 20, 30, could even be 100 years ago. Last I heard he was somewhere down in the Dawn.
I'll bet he was.
Yes, he was somewhere near those little islands off the bottom coast. Let me jog my memory. What the hell was those places called?
As Arch pulls up his map.
Starts with an S.
I don't remember there being islands.
That's my guess.
Off the south coast.
In the Singing Waters.
Yes, that's the one. The islands in the Singing Waters.
Oh.
But again, I don't exactly remember how old this information is. It's a bit of a jumble up here, I'm afraid. Old age and everything. That's why I have Belos here. And he taps the drow, who just like, he hits him a little over hard, and you just hear the drow just going, ugh, as he gets him solid in the diaphragm.
Right, well, I appreciate your assistance. I hope you can speak some sense to Kaisa. The apocalypse is of the utmost importance.
Yeah, that's what this whole thing we think is about. But we will see. She values strength, by the way.
Well, I'm not one for physical strength, but mental strength. If she values that, then I'm her person. If not, I know two people who are a bit better suited.
She values strength in lots of things. Muscles, and they indicate their own. Magics indicates Phaestos. Whoever it is that is master of being able to wield the both points over at the gnome. Competition in the mind's a bit more different, though. Perhaps you'll see that as a strength as well. But good luck. We
Much
will
appreciated.
do our best. Where do we find you?
I'll be sticking around with Shadow Strike. I believe he's arranging for us to be staying with his friend Bougrim.
Yeah, Fate Forger. All right. Go on, sod off. We got things to do.
Balance gives a bow, turns to Caden to help him up.
Caden, by this point, is absolutely exhausted, like just so tired.
Come on, Caden. I know you're tired. We'll get back. We'll take a rest.
No, that's a good idea. Nice to meet you all. And with that, you guys make your merry way. Where are you going to?
back to Bougrim.
Okay. You go back to Bogrim's tent, and it's just the four of you. Bougrim isn't here. He's gone off to pay for your entrances.
I poke my head in the tent. Hey, you two all right?
Oh, hey. Yeah, come in.
Yeah, we good.
All right. Here, Caden, why don't you lay down?
Just because my body's old doesn't mean you get to treat me like a... I'm too tired. Good night.
Caden,
He
you
just
can talk back
lays
to me
down.
when you can kick my ass. Lay down, let's go.
Just don't mess with me, young whippersnapper.
Oh, yes,
See
yes,
him,
I'm
like-
fucking older than all of you. Let's go.
Pretend to like throw his fist at you. He's trying, but he's obviously very tired. It's masking a lot of pain.
Poor guy.
Okay.
I was in jail
Yeah, he's,
longer than you aged. Fuck you, Elf. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, he begins to nod off. It doesn't take him very long. Should you need him ever, you can just like rouse him with a word or something. So he's there but not there.
Yeah. So I was able to speak rather quickly with the others that seemed to be in charge, that Jesse person faced us. There was a gnome there as well, a paladin of sort, it seemed. I was able to convince them of our quest, of what we're doing. They said they will speak to Kesa on my behalf when she arrives. However, she won't actually be here or reachable until tomorrow for the final fight. So I think it would be in our best interest if one or both of you were to enter, and then if I can speak with her and see if I can arrange for the hammer to be given to us regardless, we can cover our bases. And in the meantime, I suggest that we all get a very long rest.
I can't disagree with that statement.
That being said, Zaltanna, in regards to your fighting, there is a part of me that is very concerned due to the nature of you now hosting Ninverna. But
My God, are you gonna go on about this mind pregnancy bullshit too?
what?
She got you you got her pregnant. Mind pregnant. Never mind.
Balance does that dog head tilt where he's like, what?
What you talking about, Zaltanna?
That's not... Oh, whatever.
Listen, I very much appreciate that you are concerned about your friend who's living in my head and screaming her fucking ass off. But I'm gonna do this fight. And we need that hammer. And 3 chances is triple the amount of chances as just Rhal fighting.
I
You
will
know?
go out and say that I might need help outside of the ring as well. For one, with healing. That's going to be tough. I usually have a lot more potions than we have.
Well, I'm going to be
going-
on the sidelines anyways.
I'm going
so.
to need help with that, but there's other things that you can do. It's
I
always
am not a pregnant woman. Jesus fucking... Sorry, hold on. Let me do that again because Jesus doesn't exist in this world.
Tia fucking Christ.
regardless. Whoever of you is staying on the side, it would be good to talk to the other people that are fighting.
I regret taking your friend into my head if you guys are gonna keep treating me like I'm fucking about to give birth to a baby. Like,
I'm not saying that. Zaltanna, I'm
just-
saying I'm gonna need help outside the ring anyways. Whether Balance does it or whether you help, it doesn't matter.
well,
There's things that need to be done, considered.
Talking is my strong suit.
it's not mine at all. My strong suit is fighting people and beating their brains in with the sword and magic. So like that's
The
what I
thing-
got.
The thing is that, Balance, you are very good at talking to people, but people here, not in those clothes, you know.
I'm...
Zaltanna would have better luck talking to people than you would right now, so.
Well, I don't
You
need to
could-
wear my armor. I could just be wearing regular clothes.
You can wear my jacket, I don't need it.
You guys are trying to persuade Zaltanna not to fight right now,
No.
but you were trying to persuade her, right?
No.
We were giving you options to not.
This was very
by
much
saying
are
that
you
there's
telling me
things
not to
that-
fight? And we're like, no, you can fight. And it's like, because it sounds like you're trying to tell me not to fight. It's like, no,
Rhal's just saying that there are things that like can be done outside of the ring to help. You don't have to join in to help if you do want to sit it out. But obviously you're stubborn, so you can go ahead and fucking enter. Doesn't matter.
That is on my character sheet as one of my traits. Stubborn.
Rhal, I don't think I want to be wearing your hoodie. That being said, I can very easily acquire some just... Oh God,
At
what
that
is...
moment, you hear some scuffling at the entrance to the tent.
Stop talking and look.
About half a second later, Bougrim walks in. He has a bag. It's full of some things. What looked like surprise, and he almost like bumps into your chest, and you see an initial like glare of like, and then it almost immediately softens down.
My apologies.
Yep. So I got you two signed up. I put you down as Shadow Strike.
Thank you, Bougrim.
And, well, I put you down as Holy Avenger. I didn't really know what else to put.
Did you actually? That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, Holy Avenger, Holy Avenger, Holy Avenger, Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
So that's your name down here. I didn't know what else to call you. I realized when I got there I didn't have a name for you. And I was like, So I hope it, well, I assume it suits. I got enough together to get us all a potion each. And he gives both of you a healing potion.
Oh, thank you.
Very basic, low-level healing potion. It's not good. It's right down there. And he looks at Balance and he says, I didn't exactly know your size, but I sorted you out. And without looking at you, he passes the bag.
Oh. Thank you.
You can't be wearing that down here.
We were in agreement with that before you walked in. Thank you. Open up the bag and look inside.
There is a set of studded leather. It's not good. It's not well made. It's not... You will definitely need to put some work into this, making this fit comfortably and fit well. It's not stylish, but it's not gaudy. You'll definitely blend in with some of the scum in this area. But it will do the job.
All right. Balance is going to take off his Inquisitor attire, folded up.
Can you do the change later? I don't need to see you. Thank you very much.
I'm wearing undergarments.
I don't want to see them either.
Listen, he doesn't want to see a dick. Let it be.
He's wearing underclothes. Do you know? I just don't. You don't need to do that right now. I don't need to. No, it's not. However.
Okay.
Thank you. We could probably do with your help. And he looks at Balance. See, not too proud to say it. Should learn something about. And he mumbles something very insulting under his breath.
Did he say it in Dwarvish?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just low Dwarvish. He's being a dick.
Got it.
And he says, while we're off winning our matches, which we will, right? We might need you to scope out other people.
I can do that.
So we get an advantage when we fight further along. I also learnt something when I was out and about. Apparently, the winners of each of the disciplines are going to be meeting up with Kaser, and then there might be a grand fight, so to speak, between the four of them. So might want to make sure we don't blow everything too early. And he looks kind of at Zaltanna for this. Just don't waste your magic too soon.
Right.
All about pacing. And he nods sort of to himself.
How many fights do you think there are going to be in a single day?
Well, you and I, we already have some points in the bag, but you, Zaltanna, it'll take you a bit longer. You'll probably need to do more fights than us two. There'll be at least the semi-finals, the finals, and whatever fight with her.
Maybe I should have just signed up for a straight marshal and say so I could have saved all my it wouldn't get exhausted and not be able to heal myself.
No, you're good enough with a sword.
Hey.
You're in the right place.
And also, so what I've been told, your friend here, and he sort of like gestures to Balance, definitely not looking at him again. He can do healing stuff, so that'll be helpful.
Yeah, I've heard that too. She smiles.
Bougrim turns on the spot and he looks up at Balance. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, and I think that's probably my fault. But if you really are trying to help Rhal out, and you're helping him find out about Emma, that alone, and he spits in his hand and offers it to you.
Balance pauses a moment. Pauses another moment. Spits in his hand and shakes.
Rhal's
Cool.
just smiling softly.
Reputation, beef dropped. There's always be a hint of beef there, but it's not quite a full stew anymore.
Now it's like in Lord of the Rings.
Never tell anyone.
Never thought I'd see myself dying next to an elf. How about dying next to a friend?
That's way too. No, let's not do that. No, he looks at you and he says, "All right, if you keep helping him with Emma, then we're good."
I'm never one to turn down a challenge. Definitely this one has been challenging.
Aye. Okay, well, this is a little cozy for 6 of us. And he looks at the tent, which is clearly meant for 2.
I only need
This is-
somewhere to sit in meditation.
Yeah, you're one of those weird elf types, aren't you? All right. I'll have to get another place. I mean,
Balance goes up, picks his ears, and like folds them down and goes, "No, what are you talking about? I'm a human."
yeah, real convincing.
Anybody have any tape?
No.
Good.
Okay,
I like my ears.
I'm this far in trouble already. I might as well go try and claim us another place to stay. I'll be back soon.
Are there any wrappings laying around? And he gestures to his terrible, 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 terrible gore-covered, falling apart leg wrappings
Everything.
that are the only thing keeping him from being completely naked.
Apart from your hoodie, dude.
Well, I mean,
It stops you from
I
being
still
double
want
back, right?
I still want pants though.
All right. He looks around and there's clearly nothing here. But he says, "Look, I've got to go find us another place. I'll see if I can pick up something on the way.
If not, I'll
You
go
guys,
find some. It's fine.
You guys should get some rest. You look, and no offense, smell quite gross. So that'll be good eye juice for you, hey. I've got a magic friend who might be able to help you with some of that magic stuff you brought back." And he indicates, "What have you done with this gross eye, by the way?"
I imagine that it's. I thought the only place I have to put it is like, I don't think Rhal has like a backpack, does he? I think he's just been like
You would
putting
have some
things
sort
in
of
his
bag. So you've got to
bedroll.
carry your bedroll somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think he's just
Yeah.
using the bedroll as like bag, basically.
That's so gross.
It is gross.
It's amazing,
I
but
don't have
gross.
anything else though.
You're gonna be
the-
you're gonna be sleeping on eye juice.
It's fine.
Yeah,
that thing's
the-
probably like a quarter way dissolved anyway by now.
Gross.
Gross. The eye kind of like the
blanket's not the eye.
Yeah, you're not dissolving the eye. The
No.
eye, like kind of like, I'm gonna say membrane. It's not exactly what I mean, but I can't pick out the words right now. Sac, there we go. Is quite thick and quite like mucusy and gross. It's probably about half the size of your bag. It's quite big. Like you wouldn't be able to put it in your bag. Like you'd
Right.
have to either carry it separately or put your bag in it or on it. This thing is kind of gross.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah, I think he's like wrapped it in the blanket and like thrown it over his shoulder type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I got a friend who might be able to help you with those, or if you need it sorted or you trust someone, to have a look at it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is or what it's for. He just kind of handed it to me. And this too. And he gets the book out, the Bard book out. And is it in Dwarvish?
If you look at it, the front says it has that kind of like weird effect that you've seen before where you read, something is not necessarily written in your mother tongue, but it seems to shift under your eyes to be written in your mother tongue. At least some of the writing on the front does. And it reads, currently it would read Lady Rowena Granite Pike.
So I can read it. Okay.
You can open it. Some things in there are kind of some... Hang on, let me check. You might be able to read this book better than anyone else because the language of magic in their world is mostly Draconic.
Oh, well, yeah.
Mostly there are scrawlings and writings. There is history and explanations for how magic works, how her magic works, how God magic works. There is things in there about various rituals and how words themselves are more powerful than straight up magic, at least in her opinion. Going through it, you can read some of the spells. You're very surprised. If you look there and read them, you feel like you can probably do some of these.
Yeah, this is dumb. Rhal's gonna like jokingly like look and be like, oh, well, not jokingly. He's gonna joke later, but he looks at it and says, "Oh, never mind. A dwarf gave me this, but it seems to be similar, at least to Draconic. I can read this." And then he jokingly like says the words to do a spell, and like basically like someone would look and be like abracadabra, and do.
Boy, do you know what? Like side note, abracadabra was actually a spell I had to say, and shortly afterwards I killed someone. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
All right, it wasn't my fault. All right, it's
Power word kill.
It wasn't a power word kill. It was abracadabra. The book opened. The portal opened, and then my sword went crazy and made me kill someone. So,
if there's one thing that you can do to make this party split up right now, it's make Fireball happen, because Balance will leave.
I will fucking leave.
If Rhal cast Fireball accidentally.
Okay, so...
Do you want the podcast to end? That's how you make the podcast end.
The way this works is that you have access to Rowena's spellbook, some of her spells. However, you can only cast one of her main spells once a day, and it's the same with her inspiration. You can give that to anyone you want as a reaction. However, if something happens to Rowena in the other podcast, your book doesn't work as well, or may be destroyed, and if she learns new things, you may also learn new things. They also have a similar-ish thing going on with the ring over there too.
Wow.
My signet ring?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
shit.
a thing with your ring. Yeah.
Oh.
So a way we can keep the magic alive between the two should
Nice.
we ever need to or want to do something strange like that again in the future.
Cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of information inside this book. A lot of it doesn't make sense to you. Some of it is talking about like planes of existence, talking about planes of fire and the various hell levels and various pocket dimensions. There is a lot of information about magic in here.
What's the spell?
You just may not understand it.
What spell did you cast?
I don't
Roll a d5.
God, I can't
Roll a d5.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There are 5 spells in here. Roll a d5.
Don't do Fireball.
Okay, technically there are 4 spells in here and 1 inspiration, so whatever.
I'm so hesitant right now.
Remember, I'll quit the
Hitting enter.
podcast.
Some of them are damaging. Actually, almost all of them are damaging spells.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
Let me bring up
That's
Lady
a
Rowena
3.
Granite Pikes. That's a 3. So number 1 was inspiration. Number 2 is vicious mockery, and number 3 is dissonant whispers.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck.
So
Oh, man.
Rhal! Start reading it and just, and then everybody goes running away.
Dissonant whispers. Pick a person.
What?
Nope, you're saying it offhandedly, so you're going to cast it at Bougrim because you were laughing me talking to him.
Well, yeah, I guess.
The target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Bogan, be wise.
Oh, I forgot to put the DC of her shit on there. Sorry. Oh, actually, I know my DC. Either way, he only rolled an 8, so he failed. As you cast Dissonant Whispers on him. Say something horrible and spooky at him. On a failed save, he takes 3d6 psychic damage.
Go ahead, Neil.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm sorry, Bogram. It's 5. I didn't roll that high.
Thankfully. He drops whatever it was he was holding and just runs out of the tent for like a full 6 seconds. And then you hear him skidding to a halt like, Rhal, what the bloody hell was that?
What?
Just stalks back in. What the hell you don't read aloud for some random book if it's got magic in it. What's wrong with you?
I can't do magic.
Balance is staring wide-eyed at Rhal.
I beg to differ. I think you did.
What?
No, you know what? He's done this shit before. Did he tell you about the fireball incident? Did he tell you about that? I bet you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Sultana, did you tell him?
Why would I? No, of course
Oh no,
I didn't.
you meant on about
it wouldn't have occurred to her to say anything.
Actually, I think that was before you guys met up again. No, he didn't. He conveniently left that one out.
Oh, I'll bet he did. Let me tell you a story, Bogram.
Okay, now you both are going to bond over my fuck-ups.
And Balance embellishes Bogram with a tale of stupidity and fire.
And how Zaltanna had to say both your fucking asses.
Yeah, my girl here. And he puts his arm around you. He's like, yeah, the dwarf's saving the day as usual.
And she dips into her dwarvish and goes, right, these non-dwarves can't keep their wits about them long enough to stay alive.
You know, I can understand you.
I
haven't
don't
got
care.
a hardy constitution, do they? Bloody hell, and you've asked sense. And he switches back to common for Rhal's sake. Okay, well, I'm just going to say maybe you shouldn't read aloud from that book until you know what it does.
Or just not have it.
Yeah, maybe give it to someone a little bit wiser with magic. I'll tell you what,
Like
I'm going to
me.
get my friends to come and have a look at these two things, because, yeah.
Okay. You just got really spooked out with it when I said abracadabra.
Nothing happens this time. You're not looking at the book.
No.
It's one charge.
Rhal's not trying to cast a spell. He's just saying.
He's like, I'm not having you do that to me again. I'll be back soon. And then as he turns to leave, you guys who are probably whoever the closest door, you can just hear him mutter to himself like, well, if I'm going to get a broken leg for this, I might as well do it for the whole holiday. And you hear him leave. Is there anything you guys want to say or do to each other before he comes back? And I tell you what's what?
Rhal just gives Balance a smile.
Balance starts changing into the other attire.
Rhal looks away.
Mm-hmm.
And is very pointedly throwing any of the heavy metal bits at Rhal.
Ow! What the fuck?
Fucking casting magic again, you motherfucker. This is the
I can't
second
do
time that you've done
magic.
this. Bink! Belt comes off.
Ow! I can't do magic.
Yeah,
Can't
well,
do
you did
fucking
it.
magic, he says.
I'll melt all your clothes.
Don't you fucking dare.
Good lord.
Sultana's just reveling in the chaos that the boys are having.
Aw.
Boot comes off. Bink!
Ow!
You guys are adorable, and remind me to give you a thing on your next saving throw. It will be a thing. I will give you bonuses because you guys are adorable right now.
Someone write it down.
So
Someone
funny.
write down. Remind V to get.
Trust me, it'll be by the end of this episode. So after you get changed and you guys basically chill down, and old man Caden tells you to shut up at one point because you kind of wake him up with all the hubbub, and he rolls back over and goes back to sleep. Poor old man Caden. Bougrim turns back up. He turns up with a friend of his, another dwarf. This dwarf is a little old in the tooth. He looks like someone who who's well versed in magic, shall we say. He's covered in lots of magical runes, much like Demi is, except these are kind of more purplish reddish in nature. And he seems to have a pleasant attitude about him. And he bustles in and he says, right, so what can I be doing for you all? Someone says you got some items to me, have a look at.
Yes, 2 of them.
Yes, here. And Rhal will hand over the 2 things kind of timidly.
Which one are you giving him first?
I'll give him the book first since I was already fucking with it.
Since you were already fucking with it. Okay. They take the book. And you see them begin to move their hands over the top of it. You see the runes, the writing, the scripture on top change lettering, and you see the book flip open and spin open, and there's this kind of like lightish white colour to the magic that he's performing. His eyes white over as he begins to sort of see exactly what this is, and he closes the book with a bit of a thud, and you see like some dust or something come out of it. And he looks at you and he says, "This belongs to a bard.
Yes, she gave it to me.
The magic's not from here."
No, we were in a pocket dimension. I don't know much about all that.
He looks very confused, as if the phrasing you used is just like, what? Okay. I'm not really sure exactly what a pocket dimension is, but okay. Either way, they don't come from here. You didn't get this from, Kino or anything, did you?
No, we got it. I have...
Because they've got some very bizarre, weird magic over there. Some demon-type magic from, like, tieflings and stuff.
Rhal just looks at Balance. Just a quick glance. No. I have a specter. A friend. He did something with the planes, and we had to go somewhere to fix something. And someone there gave me this. I don't understand it either.
Right. And you see him do this big head nod of like, yeah, sure. He clearly does not believe you. No insight needed on this one at all.
I wouldn't believe it either.
He closes the book and hands it back out to you, and he says, well, this is very much like bard magic. You should be able to help your friends out once a day. Meta, read Bardic Inspiration. And you can cast a couple of other things. They can do this thing where they insult you and it hurts. Read Vicious Mockery. There's also a couple of the other little things that this book seems to contain. There's a spell in here called Shatter, and that breaks a lot of things. It's a dick thing.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Also, you can cast this spell called Dissonant Whispers that makes people hear things that make them run away. And also, you can cast Hold Person. Stop people from running away. But you need to have this book on you. And you need to attune to it. I assume you've had this for more than an hour, right?
Yes. Just barely, probably.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how this book works, but it's here, and it should help you out from what I can tell. I don't think some of the normal rules apply to this as everything else. It's a good thing to have. Are you sure I could I buy it off you?
How much?
It's best that we held on to that.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, if you got time, try and drop it off with someone who knows more about magic than I do. It'll probably help them out. There's a lot of very interesting things in here.
Okay, it sounds useful. I guess I'm a wizard now.
Congratulations, you're a wizard, Rhal.
Yay. Here,
Okay,
I got
next
this,
one.
and I flip up the bag of gore and present it to him.
Jesus Christ.
They put their hands, they catch it, and they kind of like their hands go inside, and immediately they're just like, this is quite unpleasant. I'm going to get this done as quickly as I can. They hold on to it, And again, you see them cast this spell. Their eyes go white. You can see a lot of white magic coming out from their hands and enveloping this thing, much like a globe.
I got that from my god.
As they're doing this and you say that, you see their eyes suddenly go very wide as they flip their head towards you. And this thing opens up around their hands. So there very much is like a globe. There is light inside this remains of an eye. And then you see them being thrown backwards. They get thrown back out of the tent and the eye itself collapses and slushes to the floor.
Oh,
Is the eye good? Is it safe?
The eye is still as it was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Balance goes and rushes out to help the guy.
You see them look up, like the white slowly dissipating from their eyes. And
Are
they
you
look up
right?
through you said you got that from a god?
Well, a dying
I
one,
wanted
but
to
yes.
start with that. Oh boy. You see them get up and they dust themselves off and they kind of like walk back into the tent, their hands on their hips, and they look at you, Rhal, like,
You guys, come
They look
on,
up
like
at you.
the magic. You can't like give Rhal like 20 magic things. I don't. It's gonna end bad for everyone every time. You keep letting Rhal have things.
you were the nearest.
3 out of 3 balances agree.
You were literally the nearest. They look up at you and they say, "So you got this from a god, right?"
Rhal's doing that thing where he's like looking very sheepish, like, "Uh-oh, am I in trouble?"
No.
Kind of, not like a gift.
I figured.
Why'd you gotta say it like that?
I'm with my friend here, and they point at Zaltanna. You don't just give an eye away.
I don't. You didn't supposed to ask about that. I don't know.
You listen. Don't. Gods are different than people. They do a lot of weird shit. You never know. You don't know.
You're right, I don't know. But I got paid to do a job, so I guess I better tell you what I do know. So this appears to be one of these items that will allow you to disguise yourself.
What?
But there's I don't know if you heard of the spell. It's called Disguise and Alter Self. It's one of these things that just changes the way you look. This is one of those, but it's kind of cursed. I think once you use it, it's going to be stuck with you. Not that you'll be stuck in the illusion, but that once you use it, that's it. It's only you who can use it, and you'll look that way whenever you decide to use it.
Huh.
Now, are you sure I can't buy this one off you?
Say that thing that you said.
Now, that weird eye thing there, you
Yes.
see the one that he's holding now?
Right.
That can make you disguise yourself, make yourself look different, not actually be different. It's an illusion.
I'm aware of the
You
spell.
can't suddenly become something else. All
Right.
right, good. I just want to make sure you're keeping up. Sorry.
Is it disguise self or alter self? Those are 2 different things.
Well, it's disguise. But once you use it, it's bound to you. So once
Was
you
that a bad
decided
thing?
what it... Well, it might be. I don't exactly know how this is going to work. But once you've got it, and once you decide what you look like, that's it.
What do you mean that's like if I use this and disguised myself to look like you, let's say, I'm going to be permanently stuck as you?
No, but the disguise will be permanently looking like me. I don't exactly know the extent of how it's going to be bound to you and what it'll do to you. But I guess you can only find out, right?
So only one person can use it.
Aye, only one person can use it, aye.
Huh.
And once they have it, they have it.
That doesn't sound particularly convincing. What if it attaches to my neck or something like that and suddenly I have a creepy ass eye sticking out?
You'll see more.
You'll be twice as perceptive.
But that's a plus. I have another thing if you are interested in just looking at magic things.
Well, yes, I've been paid for two. Can you afford a third? And he looks at Bougrim, and Bougrim looks at you like, this better be good.
No, not really, but I don't have any reason to keep you from just looking if you are interested. And I present the Draconic book.
Amy's book?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. The man takes the book. He opens it and begins to cast Identify again, figuring out what's going on. The spell immediately fizzles. And it's like, well, it's not a magic book like that one. And he points at the music book. Let me have a look through it. Is this a wizard spell book or?
No, it's a translating project. It's something to do with my kind, apparently, but there's a lot of... I can't read it. There's a lot we don't know about it. We just know it's important somehow, we think, for something. I don't know.
Okay. They look at the book and they say, well, I can do this thing where I can read most languages, but it's going to take a bit of time. I have to prepare it, and I can only do that tomorrow. But I can probably keep hold of this and have a look through it. There's bits in here that I recognise. I can speak that language. I can speak that one. And they're going through the book very intently.
Yeah, Rhal doesn't mind them going through the book, but he says, I would rather keep it on me. It's important, personal to me, this one. But you're charging for this, to look at the languages in there?
Aye.
How much?
It's a pretty big book. It's a lot of languages, a lot of things to translate. Let me, I don't know, you're probably looking on this side of 1,000.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's anything we need to concern this gentleman with.
No, but maybe later. Is there a way I can find you in the future?
You'll find me over by where the transportation rune is.
Okay. Like distant future?
Oh, you'll probably find me in the Dark Hammer Stronghold.
Rhal gives him a nod. Okay. If I ever figure out, if I come across that kind of money, I might need that. So, thank you.
Well, here you go. He seems almost reluctant to hand it over. Like, he's intrigued with this.
Well, he shouldn't be wanting the 1,000 gold that I don't have. So, I don't know what to tell him. He's certainly not going to buy that one from us.
Uh-huh. And he hands the book back over.
Okay.
And with that, he makes his departure. Is there anything you guys want to do to prepare for tomorrow? Anything you want to do for tonight before we wrap up for the evening?
Before taking a long rest, I'm going to use my last 6 side points on Caden while he's sleeping, and try to do as much as I can to help him using Restore Health and also some more Mend Wounding. Okay.
The result of which is that as you're healing him, you can almost visualize, almost feel his heart muscles getting stronger. You can feel his lungs becoming much easier for him to breathe. You can feel some of the arthritis that had begun to form in his various joints are beginning to loosen up and go away. But you do notice the aging does not disappear.
Okay.
All right, that's you. Zaltanna.
I have nothing. Nada.
Okay. Rhal?
Rhal's done enough magic things for the day.
Rhal's done enough
wizard.
magic things for his entire life.
Rhal's gonna change his leggings though, because he's not sleeping in that gross shit. He doesn't have any stuff, so he'll just sleep naked. He's not worried about it. But he will he'll write Ama a note, which I don't have prepared.
That's fine. We'll deal with that.
Okay.
We'll assume that the Spectre looks over your shoulder during the evening, and then you can tell me what the note says later. The morning rolls around. Y'all have finished your long rest. You regain back up to whatever I took off of your maximums. All right, everyone with advantage, make a Constitution saving throw.
Woo!
With advantage.
Yes, because you guys were so adorably cute earlier.
Oh, we get Zaltanna's thing too.
Yes, you do.
So 18 for me.
You pass, you get all of your things back.
19 plus Zaltanna's thing.
You pass, you get all of your things back.
How much is my thing?
Max HP is back up.
Yes.
Zaltanna,
Zaltanna, you got a 12 and a
3?
5. So that's a 15. You scrape it. You scrape it. You get all of your things back.
Hey!
You still suffer from a level of exhaustion because you haven't found a way of getting rid of the spirit in Inverna yet.
God damn it.
God damn it. And when you guys wake up in the morning, Caden is still in his early 60s.
Hey, sports fans. Zaltanna here, or the Holy Avenger, whichever you prefer. I really do like that alias, though. That Bougrim. Creative. Great in a pinch, I bet. You know what? Whatever. Listen, thanks for listening. As always, we really appreciate your support. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to your podcast nowadays. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/TLDpod. Go check it out if you want to consider supporting us. There are a bunch of tiers, and they come with great rewards like putting a name into an NPC pool once a month. We have a Kino campaign, a secondary campaign that is coming out. It's going to be out in a couple months for the rest of you, but for Patreon supporters, the first episode just came out. So go check it out. If you want to support us, we really appreciate it. We have a Twitter that you can follow for news and updates and general fun interactions. It's at TLDpod. We have a website. It's theluckydie.com. Again, thank you guys so much. Your support means so much to all of us. And we'll see you in the next episode where we will be doing, I guess, the Lucky Die Fight Club. I am really, really pumped. I mean it. I am going to kick so much serious butt. I hope. Oh my God, I hope. Did I make a mistake in signing up for this? Nah. All right. Catch you on the flip side.
Hey, it's Fate Forger here. I completely forgot to tell the Holy Avenger that we need to shout out to our patron Fortello, and we need to shout out to our friend Basil for giving us the name Belos. Completely forgot to tell her in the weirdness that's going on. All right, laters.
The Spock
Network. Imagine what your idea can do.